Hi, my name is Nate Davis, author of the book Footballer, and I want to show you a game today that's useful in practice. And this game is a keep away game, and it's 4-on-4. I have extra players over here, and I don't mean to communicate that there should be players standing and watching. If a coach was to set up a field like this, then he would need enough fields to be able to get all these players involved as well on different fields. And there just isn't enough time in most practices for players to get the touches they need on the ball and the opportunities to experience the development of foot coordination, muscle memory, unless they are practicing the whole time. And this is a good setup here, 4v4. Don't really need more than that for almost any of practice. 3v3 is good, 1-on-1's good, but once we get to 8-on-8 or 10-on-10, there just isn't the opportunity for players to use their skills on the ball often enough. It's dividing the ball time up too much. So in the book Footballer, I talk about ball to player ratio. So here we have 1 ball and 8 players, and less is better. So if you have 1 ball to 4 players, that's even better. Right now, this particular drill, because of the player points that this game is going to try to teach, is good with 4-on-4, or 4-on-4 or 3-on-3. Here's how the game works. It's simply a rectangle where the players play keep away, and it is evenly matched, so there's neither side is overweighted. And this field could be set up anywhere, but I put the field here to give the players the message about what we want them to learn from this activity. And this is also a rather large field, and depending on the age of your players and the size of the field itself, this may need to be adjusted. But basically, what we're trying to communicate is that the 4 offensive players are playing keep away here. And the reason they would want to play keep away here, because this is the midfield game that causes the defense to be confused, so that an open player can be found behind the defense or in some sort of shooting position. So the box is rectangular and long in this direction because we want to teach the midfielders not always to be pressing forward, but to be dribbling and passing across the field this way, because there's less pressure when you move the ball back and forth this way. And when we think about passing combinations, for example, usually we think of them going toward the goal, but we want players to think about passing combinations and runs related to moving the ball across the field as well. So if this player has the ball, then what we want to encourage players off the ball to do is to make runs in order to be open long enough to receive a pass. So, and honestly, this takes longer to learn than what a coach might think. Now, the direction that this player is not relevant to, which way he should be facing. I'm just going to leave all the players sideways on like this and go from there. But he's going to, let's say this player is going to make a supporting run. He's going to make a supporting run this way to try to leave his player a little bit behind him. So he might receive the ball here. And this player, using the idea of pass then run, might try to run in front of his defender and come back this way. The defender would step up, and then this player might be able to pass the ball to space here. And a lot of the key to all of this is timing runs, so that you make the run at the right moment. So this player now, if he has beat his defender and he's behind him, he has space, he can dribble the ball this way. And one of the principles that's outlined as a player point in the book Footballer is that if you dribble toward one of your own players, you can usually make that player open. So this player could dribble the ball this way. Then if this player steps up to defend the ball, then the ball can go this way to this player here, pass to space. So we can take all the player points that are in the book about making passes to space, making runs, combining passing combinations. All these player points can happen in this game. And so a good way to make the game so that it's competitive is to say, if a team puts together 5 or 7 passes, then they get a point. And so it's simply a possession game at that point. See who can possess the game for, say, 7 points. Now, after they've done that, and after they've been thinking about where and how to make runs, then a new element can be put into the game, and that is the ability to shoot goals. So I have 2 goals set up, one here and one here. So if the midfield is playing in this area, then what this would represent is a defender and a defender. Now, these people aren't actually standing there. They're on the field someplace else playing a different game, because this would be a waste of their time. It wouldn't be efficient enough. But if the defense is set up like this, then perhaps there's an opportunity for the ball to go and split the defense here. And so the way either team scores is they make 5 passes in a row, and then after they've made those passes, they can shoot through these 2 goals here. But in order to score a point, the ball itself has to go through this area to split the defense, and then it has to stop in bounds and outside of the 6-yard box here. So it's got to go somewhere in this area here. If it rolls into this area or this area, it is not a goal. So one of the player points from footballer that you could apply is to make a softer pass, get closer to the offsides line. So perhaps they'd want to be encouraged to move the ball closer here so that they could send a ball here. And also, if those through balls are made a little bit to the side, then they have more space. Obviously, if they can get it into this area, if they can go across this way into this area, they have more space. But if they go across this way, they have less space. So this is a really valuable activity for getting your team to think about how you get the ball behind the defense and what kind of movement it takes to get the ball behind the defense. Now, another activity that you can do with this as well is to shoot goals, and you can either shoot goals on the frame here from this area. So 5 passes and then an opportunity to shoot, or if you can set it up so that you have a goal here and a goal, on this side down here, then you can each team just has a goal that way. Or you can also have over and back line, where if you take the ball past a line and then dribble it back in, then possession changes, and then both teams are shooting on the same goal. So for example, this would be out of bounds, but this line would be out of bounds unless you dribble across it and dribble back. And once a team dribbles the ball across the line and brings it back, then they're able to shoot. If the other team steals the ball, then they can dribble across the back line, and then they have shooting possession. And as with most games, you want plenty of soccer balls here, so that if one goes out this way, the rest of the team players don't have to wait for the ball to be retrieved. And if you're playing this way, where they're shooting on this goal, then it is possible to have a goalie there as well. And again, just make sure you have plenty of soccer balls so people aren't waiting before the ball comes in bounds again. You can also do mixed goals, where, say, the black jersey team is trying to shoot on goal, and the white jersey team is got a similar setup to this, where they're trying to put through balls through in this direction. So this is a great keep away game that can be modified into a shooting game or a through ball game, and it will really help your team think about runs, passes, splitting the defense, maintaining possession, dribbling across the field, and a lot of other player points from the book Footballer. I hope you've enjoyed, and thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Have a good day.